Hi everybody, Hellcrex here. Welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. And today we're going to be talking about another Draconia's combined mech, the Strider 40-ton, aka Cicada. Yes, that's what I said, Cicada. Basically a redesigned Cicada, that's all it is. With some cool new toys and some old stuff. Alright, the Strider is a 40-ton mech. It is a 690 with endo steel, and it is a omni-mech, so it carries around 12 tons of pod space, and does have case, comes standard with it, and standard engine. All right, so there we go. We got a 40-ton mech with 12 tons of pod space and case, so not bad. It does have 120 points of armor, which I think is 1 ton short of maximum. So that's not too bad. They could have easily gone without the case and gave you full armor, or, vice versa, however you want to work at it. Overall, it's kind of well protected for a 40-tonner. More than enough to keep the pilot from falling out. Alright, so it does have a plethora of different weapons configurations and styles to go with it. Now, the primary configuration, we have the Beagle probe, we got a Beagle active probe, 2 SRM-6s with Artemis, and a small laser. So basically, this is a mech that doesn't have any long-range stuff for standard, and it kind of suffers from that. So being a 6'9", it's not overly fast, and to be honest with you, 6'9" has a tendency to die pretty quickly, because you're getting at best a 3 mod, and if you got any decent pilots around, it just like negates that pretty quickly. Or even if you start playing with any of the perks and stuff like that, or special skills, yeah, your mod disappears really fast. Now, if you're playing against clan, that you're lucky if this mech will last you a turn, maybe 2, if you're lucky. Because clan mechs have a tendency to carry pulse weapons and good pilots, and sometimes targeting computers even go with that, and you just end up being a flaming Hulk. Now, as I said, the primary configuration, we have an active probe in the center torso. We got an SRM with Artemis fire control in the left arm, and with a ton of ammo in the left torso, and mirrored into the right arm. And right torso is your SRM-6 with Artemis, and then a small laser. So, yeah, you got a range 9, so this thing has to try to get close if possible. Now, I guess it's possible since you got 2 of each launcher. With a ton of ammo for each of them, you might go throw some smoke in one of them, maybe Infernos, and one standard ammo in the other, and go at it. So you could try to make somebody do the burn dance with the SRM Infernos, or lay down a smoke screen or something like that to help you, keep yourself from getting blasted off the face of the earth. So you throw your smoke out in front of you, and then just keep on moving along. So there. Yeah, the alpha version, it's like, you don't have anything really special with the it's just like a drive-by mech, to be honest with the primary configuration. Nothing special about it. Now, when we get into the alpha version, well, this is pretty much an artillery LRM delivery package mech. You have carries 2 NARC missile beacons, right and left arm, 1 in each. So you can try to put, hey, you get a NARC, like drop off a few NARCs with your ton of ammo. So that doesn't last very long, but you can drop off a few here and there. And then you have a tag laser designation system for your missiles and your arrow system. Yeah, that's in the head and or left torso. And you still got the Beagle Probe in the center torso. Then you got C3 Slave in the right torso. And you still got the small laser in the head. I'm sorry. But this, like I said, this is one of those mechs that you go by, getting close. Once again, you're stuck at short ranges with this mech with hardly anything to shoot back with. And your job is to run up there and say, hey, I'm going to tag you. Pretty much if you got an LRM company with lots of LRMs, yeah, this might be handy. Or if you get running around with Arrow 4 systems back behind the lines and tagging people with it so you can home in with the missiles, you know, that might be, you know, the way to work with that one. But if you get in all by yourself, boy, your heaviest hitting weapon system you have is kicking. No, that's it. That's nothing to bank on, especially if they keep away from you. And then we got Configuration B. Intended as a long-range combat fire support mech. The Strider B has a simple payload of 2 LRM-10s with a ton of ammo for each. That's it. That's all you have. So maybe you're configuring with having a alpha version and you throw up a beta or something and maybe some other mechs, fast moving, let's say dervishes and trebuchets, might work pretty decently if you have something like that where you got some mechs with LRMs and work in conjunction with an alpha version to help you home in and with your missiles. So not bad. Pretty much it's a cheap man's version of the dervish without the extra close-in support weapons. All right. Then we have Configuration C. All right. This one has a pair of LRM-5s. So you downgraded the 10s to 5s. And then it carries a large laser. So the tonnage you saved from the 10 launcher gives you some close-in fire support. And it also has a C3 Slave. So now you get something that can get in close, hit with the large lasers, and then rain down fire with the 2 plinky LRM-5s. And then the rest of your lance or company can use, as long as you're outside that ECM bubble maybe that's out there, you can hit, your lance mates will hit better. So you can tear up a mech pretty quickly using this configuration. But once your opponent knows the whole mission of your Strider, what they're going to be doing, well, they may not be long for the world. They'll probably just, all right, we're going to fire everything we have and then blast it off the face of the earth. So, got to kind of keep it at range without getting too close. But with a large laser, you got a little bit of hitting power. And if you get swarmed by some light mechs, a large laser will keep them respected at a distance possibly, or do some damage to them. Then we have Configuration D, meant for close combat. It carries a pair of Streak 2s. Streak 2s to me are not. It's like, I see Streak 2s and I'm like, okay, whatever. You're going to do some plinky damage to me. And I might hit you back with something heavy. Backed up by a pair of medium lasers, range 6, and a small laser. Heck, you're almost better off with ER small lasers. Instead of the pulse lasers, you might be doing more damage. Especially if you have a whole bunch of them. Or you just standard medium lasers. You could give yourself 4 medium lasers and probably do more damage than the small pulse lasers. Or medium pulse lasers. And then you carry a comprehensive electronic warfare package, which is a Beagle Probe. And then you have a tag system for calling artillery. Okay. We keep seeing the Beagle Probe. Yes, I like the Beagle Probe, but being that you are an Omni, there are times that actually, depending on the mission you're playing, a Beagle Probe is pretty much worthless for you in most circumstances. You're better off with an ECM package, especially when you got individuals running around with what you're carrying a lot of times, especially like the Prime version with Artemis. Shut that Artemis down. All right, so yeah, it could be useful, this version, but it's like you still have the same problem, extremely short range, and you're relying on your tag to be doing the work for you from a distance, and the C3, so you're working on others to do more work for you. And then configuration E, okay, so this is carries a accurate. Now we got the Streak 6 launchers. All right, you got 2 of them and a single medium laser. Well, now we're getting into what I always talked about, having Streak 6s. I'd rather have Streak 6s than Streak 2s. To me, a Streak 6 at least does some damage. Yes, they're doing 12, being it's 2-point shots. It's fires or not fires. And you got 2 of them, you're doing some good damage. To say you hit a light mech with a couple Streak 6s, they're going to know you're there. You may not punch through completely, or if somebody punched a hole through, you may hammer in hard. Or this is where you do the drive-by with this thing and hit a medium, heavier assault mech that has some armor holes in it. You hit with some Streak 6s, they're going to know you're there. So, there you go. If I had my druthers, I'd rather go with the Streak 6 over the Streak 2s. Now, configuration E, that was, and then we're going on to the F. All right, so it's not dependent on ammunition. Okay, here we go. And the primary weapons is a pair of Streak 4s. That's kind of like not bad. I can live with Streak 4s over Streak 2s. And a pair of medium lasers, and then it has jump jets. Okay, now you give yourself a little bit of mobility, and you have a couple hitting medium lasers, and you still got the Streak. So if you had some holes in somebody, the Streaks could be your crit hunters. So not bad. I like the mobility of this one a little better comparatively. So there you go. All right, configuration G. This is the Jihad era. Carries a pair of ER small lasers in the torso, and then it has MML7s in each arm, and it carries a ton of ammunition for the LRM and SRM. So you got the short range hit, and you got the long range hit. So you could sit back and do some plink damage with the LRM version, and then when they get in close, you hammer them with the SRM HE. So that's not bad. Typically with a 7 rack, you might get 4. I think it's 4, somewhere in the 3 or 4. So you're going to be doing some decent damage. Usually it's a 5 and a 4 block. So there you go. And then obviously the H is Dark Age stuff. That has clan made Streak LRM 10s. That's way down the age. And then we got another one of the two C3 boosted master computers. This is your command and control mech. Not bad. I don't have a problem putting the command and control mech in your medium mechs. I usually put them in my 55 tonners. It's like there's many, reconfigure my Shadowhawks, rip everything out, and give it the master computer, because then you got some mobility with it and have a chance to escape with the good equipment. And configuration R, Operation Bulldog. This is when you go after Smug Jaguars with a Star League Defense Force New Age. And it has clan weapons, a couple of clan Streak 6s, and a pair of clan medium pulse lasers. Now that would be a hard-hitting little mech. That wouldn't be bad. But overall, that's the mech in itself. Being that it's an Omni, you do have lots of choices if you want to install different kinds of equipment, however you want. Being that it's an Omni, it's the commander or the pilot's discretion of what they may want. That's just your standard configuration that they usually show. Like from the depot, I need this configuration. It's already set up for you, and they just plug and play. So, but if you can think about it farther in advance, you could probably change things out a bit. So that is the Strider in a heartbeat. Could be a pretty decent mech. depending on your configuration. Personally, I've wouldn't be opposed to throwing like an ERPPC on this thing and maybe ECM, tag, or C3 and some medium lasers for up close. And maybe give it double heat sinks. There you go. Alright, so that's it. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Hell, Greg's out.